As a matter of fact, I'm going to wrap up with the big, beautiful tax bill and how it affects us in real estate. Okay, so non-disclosure, I became a master of it because I didn't want anybody to bypass me or play games with me. So we put it in writing. Here's what you put in writing. Number one, the parties to the agreement. Clearly identify who you're going to disclose the information to, who is disclosing, and who is receiving. Number two, definition of confidential information. Precisely describe what information is confidential. Is it a business plan? Is it some financials? If I'm selling a commercial building, there are some numbers. I don't want the whole world to know it. But anyway, business plan, financials, customer lists, very important. If you have, like this attorney was one of my students, and he was leaving a firm, and he had a non-disclosure, non-circumvention, but he was leaving, and he was an attorney, and he said, they are telling me I can even use my database of investor clients that I... Well, we had to review his paperwork, we helped him and all this, and we found out that there is a clause for somebody like an attorney, a CPA, or a doctor, where they cannot stop them from performing because that's the way they earn their income. It's very interesting. Number four, well, I said definition of confidential information. What is precisely what we're covering? Purpose, and number three, purpose of disclosure. Explain that information is shared solely for evaluation or transaction purpose. Number four, obligation of recipient. The recipient agrees not to disclose, use for unauthorized purposes, or circulate the confidential information. Very important to protect yourself. You're saying, don't circulate this information, don't broadcast it. Number five, exclusions from confidentiality. Information that is public, previously known, independently developed, or rightfully obtained from third party is excluded. Another one, term and duration. This, I took our latest non-circumvention agreement, and this is what we have. Term and duration. Specify how long confidentiality lasts. Often several years, or until information becomes public, or until I sell the building somebody else. I don't care after that. Return or destruction of information. It's kind of a silly clause, but we put it. Requirement to return or destroy the information after the conclusion of business. If they don't buy, destroy the information or return it. It's all by email now. I just say destroy it. How am I going to know if they destroyed it or not? But we'll put it there. So if it comes up, they can say, oh, I don't know how they got it. Remedies for breach. Consequences like damages, injunctions, or termination of the business relationship. I remember somebody breached an agreement with me, but then I was not specific enough regarding the region. I told her about if I'm doing business here, this. She went nearby and she said, well, it wasn't specific enough. And I asked my attorney and he said, this is this. I said, it's okay, but I just wanted you to know if you intend to come closer, I'm going to enforce this. And that was enough warning and fair advance notice. And so remedies for breach, consequences like damages, injunctions. Injunction like mean we stop him from doing the work, or termination of the business relationship. Non-circumvention clause, if it's an ND, non-disclosure, non-circumvention. Non-circumvention, don't circumvention, go around me, okay? It prevents parties from bypassing the agreement to directly engage or exploit business opportunities or contacts without authorization. I give you an example. So I had a verbal agreement with a tenant. He called me, he said, Sharif, I have too much space. I can pay the lease for so much. I asked the landlord, which is a big hotel company, to let me sublease the space here. I said, okay, so let me come and take a look. I went to take a look and I saw the space. I said, I want from here to here with the bathroom access and all this. He said, fine. So I said, I signed with him. I will come in, you can sublease it to me, but I also have the right to sublease it. He said, okay, and you cannot bypass me. If you see the tenant I'm bringing, you take him from me, I'll come after you, I'll take your business, I'll obliterate you. He said, okay, no problem. When you tell people in a nice way, they understand. You protect me, I protect you. But then when I went to present it to all the jewelers and all this, I also had to have them sign that they will not bypass me. You want to see where I have a location? Yeah, I'd love to see it. I know you're in Martinique, I'm going to bring you to Puerto Rico, I'll show you a great location, but you have to sign, you cannot bypass me. Why would I bypass you? Don't you own the building? I'll disclose when you sign. So when they signed, I brought them to the location. So then I had a non-disclosure, non-circumvention from the tenants that I'm showing it and from the people that are subleasing to me. And that's how we did the deal. Okay, so non-circumvention clause will be prevents parties from bypassing you or engaging or exploiting the business behind your back. Now, another clause has to be the governing law and dispute resolution. You always have to say the jurisdiction and the methods for handling disputes. All right. These lists summarize the most common and essential elements that I have in my non-disclosure and non-circumvention. The key thing is, I'm going to tell you something. A contract could be enforceable, but it's only as good as the parties. Like you can do a deal with the devil, so long as it's the right deal, you have an agreement in writing, and it's lawful. And at the end of the day, you can find the freaking devil and collect from the devil if you win. Because you can win and it just sits lingering there. So know who you're dealing with from the get-go. There are some people I just don't want to deal with. They are crooks. You can see them coming a mile away. And there are some that are not so obvious. I remember when my kids were kids and they would watch Disney, I made it very clear to the kids, in a Disney movie, you could see the bad witch coming a mile away. You could see the bad guy coming a mile away because they make them look like bad people. Like, the way they talk, the way they behave, they're in the dark, they're wearing this, they're that, they're standing in an angle. But in reality, no, sometimes in the business, you have somebody coming with a smile and a handshake, but that is a bad person. So what do? Check the background, make sure you have the guarantees, make sure you're in a position of control, you have things in writing, everything. So hopefully that helps you with the non-circumvention and the enforceability of what you're gonna do. And in closing, the proper drafting and execution, have an attorney draft it. Consideration for when something happens. There must be some valid bargain going on with this. Reasonable, it has to be reasonable. It has to be legal, and the confidentiality has to be clear, and how it's gonna hurt me has to be clear, and the compliance by jurisdiction has to be clear. At the end of the day, I try to stay in control. I try not to stress myself too much about trying to enforce little stuff, but I want to be in control because all contracts are good until something goes wrong. So is that contract good when it goes bad? Not good when it's good. When it's good, we don't even look at the contract. But when something goes bad, everybody runs to the contract. Okay, what clauses did I sign here, right? All right.